What's up, everybody, and welcome in. It is Pub Sports Radio. This is the College Basketball Countdown, and I am Jeff Nadeau, a.k.a. the big man on campus, and we are back live breaking down college hoops here on a busy Saturday. Got a lot going on today. It is Saturday, December 16th. We are just, 9 days away from Christmas. Make sure you get out there, get your gifts ready. 25th is going to jump up on you quick. Make sure you get your Amazon, all that ordered, because you got to get that in pretty soon or you're not going to have your gifts. However, we're going to try to deliver you some gifts today. We got a lot of games to get into. I'm going to chat about all the marquee matchups. We also have 5 or 6 bowl games. I'm going to talk about them as well. I've said before, and I'll say it again, bowl season has been ruined, unfortunately. It is a mess due to transfers, due to opt-outs. And you really have to understand kind of what you're betting into, who's playing, who's not. All that's just going to be really important. Obviously, motivation's key. It's really all important to having success at the level that you want to have success in. So make sure you stick around for that. We'll do that in the second hour of the show, a half hour of the show. All you guys here joining us, thank you for jumping in. Looks like we are being spammed a little bit. I don't know what's going on. Just people saying joined. I don't know what's going on. We also have the ticker, which you guys can follow along at home. That'll be fun. So drop any games that you want me to take a look at. We'll go back later and take a look at those. If you're going to drop a game, please do me a favor. Put the line, put, anything you can to help us identify the game. So we can move along. We can get to as many games as possible. Doesn't matter what game. I'll try to give you an opinion on it. But we don't try to screw around here. We jump right into it. Shout out to our friends at Pub Sports Radio. If you enjoy what you're seeing, please hit that like button, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here. There's all sorts of sports content you might get into here. Big UFC card later. I know Pub Sports Radio's got you covered with that. Whether you like NFL, NBA, college hoops, Pub Sports Radio's got you covered. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you're here every Saturday, 10:30. Junior Duanos is a new member. Thank you, Junior. Appreciate you, my friend. Junior's a good man. Junior's a good man. Will I have a bonus UFC play later? Yes, I will. Actually, you ruined it. Bones, or not Bones, Joe. You ruined it. Yes, Joe, for sure. Absolutely. Also, guys, I started out today with a winner. Because what do? I deliver you winners. England Championship, second level of English football. Not the Premier League, the Championship. Ipswich, Norwich City over, and both teams to score. 2-2. Two of the highest scoring teams in the Championship. We grabbed that one early. 7:30 a.m. winner. That's what we love. So bang that out. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, let's get into basketball today. I want to start with not a marquee matchup. However, I think a very winnable game here if you like this one. We got Southern visiting Tulane. Now, for anyone that is not aware, Southern University is out of the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. This is, I think, for Southern, this is a pretty big game for them. They're from Baton Rouge. They're making the short trek to New Orleans to take on Tulane, kind of a little brother, big brother matchup. And I got to tell you, this may be one of the more offensive, exciting games of the day. There's going to be a lot of offense in this game. You look at Southern University, they've allowed 88 or more points 5 times in 9 games. This defense is wretched. They have one of the worst 2-point defenses in America. And you ask yourself, why? Well, it's a virtual layup line when you play Southern. They let you do whatever the hell you want to do. So if you want to go fast and play with them, they will let you run whatever offense you want to run. And Tulane is a group that have great guards. They're very good downhill. Kevin Cross, Colby King, Jalen Forbes, Sion James. This team is downhill, downhill, downhill. Very few teams get to the free throw line more. It's all about dribble penetration, getting into the teeth of the defense. And Southern is not going to put up much in the way of a barrier to get to the rim. You also look at the effectiveness of this Tulane offense. Here's what I have major concerns for Southern. Southern in the 2-point variety. So against 2-point, like again, jump shots, getting to the rim, 2-point defense. They're allowing over 61%. That is one of the worst margins in the country. Tulane, one of the best downhill 2-point offenses. Tulane's going to score. In fact, I think they can get to 90 in this game. This is a horrid Southern defense. And I got to tell you, I'm not real interested in Tulane's defense either. This is a group that has struggled mightily too. They also want you to play fast. They'll let you play fast. And this is a Southern team that has found the ability to score at times this year. Put up 75 against TCU, scored I know only 60 against Illinois, but Illinois is a great defense. I feel like this is a game where they could probably get to 65, probably even into the 70s. I had this at like 91-79. I think this is a high-scoring game. I really do. I like the over in this game. Also throw in the fact Tulane just played a double overtime game, 117-110 against Furman. Very high-scoring game just a couple of nights ago. We know that generally when legs go out, it's usually on the defensive end. These are two teams that just aren't going to play a whole lot of defense. I like the over in this one. Over. Someone said, remember when this guy said he'd make more money on his own without Barstool? Good times. But hey, Mark, you're still here watching. Everywhere I go, you seem to find me. So thank you for continuing to search me out and find me. Luckily, Mark, you don't know my finances. I don't know yours. We know you hate, but we wish you the best here. And thank you for watching. Please appreciate you adding to the Pulse Sports Radio numbers today. Thank you so much. We always know it's always great when, the fans are here, but it's also great when the people that don't like me are here, because the great thing about me is they always watch. So thanks for being here, Mark. Put Mark's comment on the screen, please, if you can. Thank you. We always want to identify the scumbags as well. Shout out to you, Mark. Thanks for searching us out today, as always. You always find a way to come and let us know. All right, let's get to the next game. Arizona, Purdue. It's the marquee matchup of the day, right? The big one. Arizona, lane 2, totals 160. And I'm going to tell you now, I think sharp money is on Purdue, or I know sharp money is on Purdue. Public's on Arizona here. They just are. They look at this game and they just think, all right, well, Arizona's just a little bit better than Purdue. They're undefeated, blah, 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 blah. I get it. However, we have seen Purdue prepared for this type of matchup. And I think this is what you get by going to Maui and playing in the Maui Invitational. Because what did Purdue do? They won 3 straight games, these types of games, these Elite 8, Final Four type of games. They won 3 in a row. Gonzaga, Tennessee, Marquette. And now you get another game here against a top-level team. This is all going to prepare Purdue as the season goes on. And this is why Purdue at the end will be a top-level team, because they've done this sort of thing. Look, Arizona's not going to win every game. And I have said before, I think outside of Houston, they're the best team in America, Arizona. However, this is a coin flip game. You have two teams that are incredibly even. I don't think there's an actual, advantage for either side. Purdue's lost the game, so I think obviously people are going to see the 0 behind Arizona's name and say, oh, they're just going to win this game because they haven't lost yet. But let's ask ourselves, outside of playing Duke, have we really been that impressed with Arizona? I haven't. And not for nothing. That was a game that came down to the wire. It just was. Look, I think Arizona's a little bit better at the guard position because they have Caleb Love this year. However, you look at Lance Jones, Fletcher Lawyer, Braden Smith. I think they're up for the task. And Braden Smith, I've knocked the kid at times, but he has played really well to start out the season here. You got to give him some respect. His assist rate is top 10 in America. And what do we say? If you're going to have a guy like Zach Edey, one of the best players in the country, 7'4", you got to get him to basketball. It doesn't mean anything if you can't get him the ball. And he has done a great job of getting him the ball. You look at Fletcher Lawyer, you look at Lance Jones, you look at Morton, you look at all these guys. When you have games like this, right, there's not a lot of wiggle room. There's not a lot of advantages. But there are two advantages to me for Purdue here. One of which, this game is in Indianapolis. It's going to be a Purdue crowd. It's a virtual home game. That's a big thing. We've seen that be majorly important, right? in games over the years, especially in these non-con games. I remember last year, Las Vegas, Illinois played, I believe, Arizona. It was an Illinois crowd. It was great. It was high level. I think Purdue has a similar type of crowd today, and they have Zach Edey. That's the advantage of this game. You have Zach Edey, the other team doesn't. I like Umar Bello, but I got to be honest, I don't know if he can handle Mr. Edey. We saw last night, really in the guts, well, not the guts of the game, but even early in the game, Donovan Clingan destroyed Gonzaga. I mean, he just did. And he had a huge game. 27 minutes, had 21 points, 8 rebounds. Graham Ike couldn't guard Donovan Clingan. It's going to be similar here. Like, I like Bello, but this is what makes Purdue so good. They have Edey, and you don't. Just the truth. And that's why they were able to win against Tennessee and against Marquette and against Gonzaga. So, look, for me, if you're going to give me 2 points, I'm going to lean on Purdue here. I like them to win the game, personally. I like them, to pick them. If it was 1 or 2 in their favor, I'd bet them on the money line. I'm just going to trust Purdue. Now, I want to make this clear, Woo Rizza. This is not a home court game. This ain't in West Lafayette. But I got to tell you, I think in this game, in this time of the year, if it were in West Lafayette, I'd rather have it in Indy right now because the kids aren't in Purdue right now. They're home for college break. This would be a big advantage having it in Indy. Dan Kelly says Jeff loves getting into it with the haters. Doesn't make him a bad person. No, I mean we like to screw with them. We want to give them a motts for coming in because we appreciate them for coming in. They're here. Justin McElvey, thank you for watching. Kelly McInnes, what's going on? Kevin Miraz, Ian, what's going on? Mitchell Watson. Morning, Nadu. Thanks for taking some time to break down a Saturday. Thank you, brother. And if you have a game you want me to take a look at, please jump in. I hope you jump in and throw something out. Brooklyn Funk Project. What's going on? This is a tough road game for Arizona. Yes, it is. Kelly McGinnis, looking forward to a great day. College hoops. College football, not so much due to transfer portal claiming too many important players. Yeah, but I do think it's important that we stick around for that segment because I'm going to update you. Who's playing, who's not. I think there's some advantages you can find today in these games. I really do. We'll get to college bowls in a second. Dan Kelly, thank you for watching, my man. I know you've been around for a while. Thank you for being here, my friend. Woo Rizza, my man, what's going on? Big T, what's happening? What's going on? Travis Todd, how are you? I lean Purdue. Let's get to the next game here. Baylor, Michigan State. Look at this one. Ooh, baby. What is this here we have? Well, we have a good old hold your nose and do what you got to do. I'm going to say it. I love Baylor long term. I think Baylor is a team that in the futures market, you have to jump aboard. This is a really good basketball team. Really good. Vez Misi, Ray J. Dennis. This is a good basketball team, man. Great guard play, big, good defensively, just a good team. However, ask yourself this. This number opened 4.5, 5. It's now down to 3 with a 9-0 team headed on the road to take on a really bad Michigan State team right now, who's 4-5 and have lost every game that they've stepped up to and played. The question I have is Michigan State just bad? Or is this one of those types of spots where, this line movement does not make sense? There are 3.5s out there. So if you're looking at Michigan State in this spot, you want to search around. Michigan State, every step-up game they played. Look, let's look at their schedule here. So we remember they started out the season, they lose to JMU, who we found out is a top 25 team and pretty good. So we're okay. You lose to them, fair enough. They come back and beat Southern Indiana. Who cares? They then go to Duke and lose. Okay, so 1-2. They then come back and follow it up with 2 wins against Alcorn and Butler, which is what they should do. They then play Arizona, lose that game. But we know Duke and Arizona are better than Michigan State. So again, 2 losses that you challenge yourself, you didn't get the job done. no skin off your back. You then beat Georgia Southern by 31. You should do that. You then come back, though, and lose to Wisconsin at home by 13. That should not happen. And I don't know what the hell happened against Nebraska. So what the hell is this team? Are they just a product of a tough schedule? Because be honest, they did play a really tough group up until the Big Ten. How the hell do you lose to Wisconsin by 13? Look, I like Wisconsin, but they shouldn't come into East Lansing and beat your doors in by 13. And why the hell and how the hell do you go on the road and lose at Nebraska? I think they're improved, but you shouldn't lose to them either. I think what happened here is, and I identified this early, a lot of people had Michigan State as a top 5 team, top 10 team. I didn't see it. I just didn't. I didn't get it. They didn't make any moves in the transfer portal. They didn't get better to me. But we give them Izzo factor. They're better because they have Izzo. We're just going to put them in the top 5 because they have Izzo. Product doesn't matter. The players don't matter. It does matter. You're not getting the same players everybody else is. And that's why Michigan State has struggled. My whole thing is here, this line move doesn't make sense. I'm not betting this game, but if I had to play it, can Baylor continue to shoot the lights out? It seems like every jump shot they put up goes in. Something tells me they go on the road today and struggle to get those shots to go in. Maybe they don't shoot the ball as well as we think. Michigan State has had really bad shooting luck. Maybe it gets a little bit better for them. They're going to have the ability to hit some jump shots in this game. We know their guard plays solid with Tyson Walker and those guys. If you're giving me 3.5, I'd lean Michigan State. This is a kind of a game you have to have. I feel like it's you got to get a marquee win at some point. It doesn't. This is a really important game due to the fact that they don't play an important game for a long time. They got to start putting some things on a board here because you're starting to get to a point where how many opportunities do you have left? Look, I'm not saying they're not going to have the opportunities in the Big Ten and stuff, but I mean, you got to win a big game at some point. I don't know. This is tough because I really like Baylor, but I know that you don't get rich in spots like this. Why is the number dropping? We know Baylor's really good. Michigan State isn't. Number shouldn't be dropping. It should be going up. If you can get a 3.5 or 4, I would lean Michigan State here. Billy Friedrich, Baylor does everything better than Michigan State. Exactly. Yet, the numbers dropped. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Jay Peasy, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for watching, man. Sometimes it's just the coach. Yeah, for sure. But then again, Scott Drew's a really good coach too. 84% of the actual money is on Michigan State. Exactly. Anything above 3, I think you take Michigan State. I think you hold your nose, as I said at the beginning, and take the Spartans. And I'll tell you this, if they fail you here, you give it up. You just move on. Or you fade them. But this spot, to me, MSU. All right, let's go to the next game. What do we want to do? Alabama-Creighton. I got to tell you, this game is fascinating to me because you have two teams that literally live and die by the 3. Creighton is a team that are very difficult to bet on because it truly comes down to, can they make threes? You look at their 2 losses this year. They shot around 25% from the 3-point line, and they got crushed. If they do that, they will lose. It doesn't matter who they play. They are so variance-based. It all comes down to the 3. That's it. Because they are in the situation where they shoot so many threes that if they don't go in, they will lose. And that's how they lose to UNLV as a 13-point favorite. That's how they lose to Colorado State and only put up 48. You also look at Alabama. This is Nate Oates' thing too. It's shoot a bunch of threes and just hope they go in. It's been their thing for years. Here's the good thing. Both these teams are shooting it at 39% or better. So I hate to be rudimentary, guys, but if their threes go in, this game will go way over. If they don't, this game could struggle to get to 130. That's just the truth. Because I hate to be like this, but I don't know how else to bet it. It strikingly comes as a spot where I would think both these teams have very little trouble scoring. However, if the threes don't go in, they're not going to have high scoring games. Pretty simple. I would lean Alabama here, to be fair, +7. Because again, if I'm almost like overthinking. I don't even know how to explain how to bet this game because it truly just comes down to whether I think they're going to make threes. And both of them make 39% or better, so I assume they would. So I would say over. This game could be first to 100 wins. What do you guys think? I don't – how else do you bet it? That's all these teams do is shoot threes. They're not going to, like, sit in the half court and try to, create these intricate plays or anything. Just not going to do it. Alabama lives in the glass, which is helpful. They're all good. They're both good from the free throw line. I think they'll be willing to play fast Creighton. They just didn't shoot the ball well last time out. Now, if they do, they can beat anybody. Creighton will put up, 90 on you quick. This game seems to me a lot like the Iowa game, 92-84. And that's not a particularly good Iowa team, and they put up 84. Alabama can't defend anybody. So, this total's ticked up a little bit, but I think you still play it. It's either going to be first to 90 wins or you're not going to get to 130 here. That's just the truth. There's so much variance in these games. So I know the total's high, but there's been a lot of these games this year where the total looks too high. There's just a lot of good playmakers in these games. There just is. And both these teams are pretty stacked with playmakers. We know Creighton has a bunch of kids that can just shoot the rock. And Mark Sears and Aaron Estrada, that's as good a backcourt as you're going to find. Grant Nelson, the big, over. I lean over. Because, again, these are two teams that are going to shoot. How many threes are going to be shot in this game? 60? There's going to be a lot. Jose, can you let me know what is going on with all these people just coming in and saying joined? What's going on here?
Well, that is the lovely feature from StreamYard telling us that people are watching on X and they're joining the stream.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that is. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. If you're here on X, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're not calling it X, by the way. It's Twitter, for Christ's sakes.
It is still Twitter, yes. I agree with that 100%.
Okay. I didn't know. I was wondering what that was. I didn't know if it was like a coordinated effort to just come in and all say join, but okay, now I know. Thank you. So Jacob Gonzalez, Ozzy, Bob, what's going on? Thanks for watching. Bach, Boyce, what's going on? Wu Rizza says Bama's got no defense. Yep. And they like to run. Absolutely. Sharon Pulliam, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for watching. So yeah, I lean over in this game. I know it's high, but this screamed to me first to 90 wins. Like 92-84. Yeah, I could see that. All right. Carolina, Kentucky. Here we go. This is another game. I didn't know who's top two here. I mean, if I'm being honest, Kentucky can't stop anybody at the rim. They're a group that I think are going to be really good all year on the offensive end. They just have scores everywhere there. Reed Shepherd has been really good for them. Tell me if you thought out of that group, Reed Shepherd would be one of their better players. They have a who's who of top 5 recruits, top 10 recruits, Dillingham and DJ Wagner and, Justin Edwards, Aaron Bradshaw, but Reed Shepherd's been the man. But you look in both their losses. They got gutted against Kansas. And I'll tell you what, Wilmington did whatever they wanted. I have some real concerns about their defensive abilities in this game. Armando Bacot is really good around the rim. We know that. How long has Armando Bacot been in college? 9 years at this point. They can really fill it up. And with Love not being there anymore, they went out and kind of addressed it in the portal. Ingram, Davis, Cormac Ryan. Both these teams want to go up and down. Top 25 pace teams, up and down groups. I had this first to 85 wins. Because again, I don't think Carolina is very good on defense either. These teams are just average defensive teams, and they're really good offensive teams. I agree with Robert Franklin, over 164. I don't think we have to, again, guys, complicate some of these things. We see these high-scoring games and we think 164, 160. Sharps should automatically just a lot of time bet those games under. Not anymore. Not anymore. Because the pace in college basketball, you have a lot of just like NBA-type players, and they're pushing these games high. All these games that you see, these really big marquee games, they're always high-scoring. They are. And these are average defensive teams. They just are. There's too many playmakers on both these teams, whether it's Baycott or Reed Shepard or DJ Wagner or RJ Davis or Harrison Ingram or Cormac Ryan or Dillingham or whoever. Like, there's just too much offense here. I've talked about this in the Champions League, right? Sometimes you just have to play the over because you have so many goal scorers. You have Messi and Mbappe and all these different guys. It's Ronaldo. I mean, you have games sometimes where PSG, right? They have Mbappe and all these different guys, and they're playing, a team that has, 2 or 3 high-level strikers. I mean, there's just goals everywhere. Same thing here. You just have so many kids that can score to basketball. These are average defensive teams, and generally average defensive teams at a game like this falter. So I like the over. I agree with Robert Franklin here. Best Gambler has joined. What up, Best Gambler? Good to see you. Jonathan Shuley, Tim Gallagher. Thanks for watching. If you're on Twitter right now, we appreciate it. Robert Franklin says both teams mediocre defense and both teams like to push the ball. Exactly. And sometimes you just have to come down to that. How many high-level kids do they have here? Jacob Gonzalez just joined, but thoughts on Michigan State? I discussed that. I leaned your way there as well. Anything above 3, I think you have to play that. That was a game we talked about a few ago. All right. Final game that I kind of wanted to highlight, and then we'll get into some of your comments and questions. High Point and Georgia. I know, not a big game, right? However, look, I like Georgia. I think they're a team that is getting there. I think they'll be a tough out this year in this conference. I think they're a team that, under Mike White, that's improving. I think they're a team that's played a really solid schedule. I mean, you look at overall, this is a top 75 schedule. Played a lot of really solid basketball teams. I believe 5 or 6 top 100 teams. So shout out to Mike White for scheduling. People are going to see this game on the schedule. They're just going to think automatic win. Not so fast. High Point is really solid, man. This is a really solid team. And they're a team that are going to be up for this game. This is an SEC opponent. This is a game that strikes me because when and look at High Point, I bet this team a few times this year. They're really good offense. They can score. They're great at the free throw line. They make a lot of threes. They're a good offensive rebounding team. They do everything you want as an underdog, right? They're just solid. I believe they're 8-1-1 against the spread. Like, they're really good against the number. Here's the issue, though. They've played nobody. Like, nobody. Like, they've played fuck all. The best team they've played is Hofstra, who is a solid team, but they ain't the SEC. Now, keep in mind, in that game against Hofstra, went to overtime, gave up 97. Keep in mind, they gave up 89 in regulation, so pretty bad. Georgia wants to play fast, and High Point does not have the defensive players to do anything here. The question is, can High Point score? I think they can. I do. I don't think they're going to score a lot, but I think they can get to, high 60s. Because I don't think Georgia, again, you throw them kind of into the same level. I don't think they're great defensively either, if I'm being honest. I mean, they've at times struggled. Give up 77 to Wake. They've given up some numbers this year, and they haven't played that many great offenses. This is a good offense. They're going to push the tempo. They can create some offensive rebounding ability for themselves. Yet 151, I thought that was a little low here. I think this is like an 83, 70 type of game, 85-72. I think this game goes over. I don't want to take high point. I wanted more than 10 here. But I kind of liken this to a game the other night that I played the over in St. Thomas and Marquette. High Point does all the things you want for an underdog. They make threes, they don't turn it over, and they're good at the free throw line. Plus, High Point's a great offensive rebounding team. However, they're not good defensively. I like the over in this one, 151. All right. Justin McElvey says, my play of the day is on LSU plus 7.5. All right. LSU plus 7.5. They play the Texas Longhorns. So I am not the biggest LSU fan. I think they're a team that is still kind of getting there under Matt McMahon. I think they're a team that you're going to see games. You're going to scratch your head and say, how'd you lose that game? How do you lose to Nicholls State? How do you lose to Syracuse by 23? Are they ready to compete at this level? I'm not sure. I had this number about where it is. I would say 6.5. And not for nothing, this number has jumped up a little bit. Early money came in and took Texas. I think Texas is still figuring out, but they're more where I want them to be than LSU. I don't know. Play of the day, I think is a bit crazy, but I wish you the best, Justin. I hope you get the job done for yourself. You might get, you might get lucky there with that hook. This could be a game that's, 72-67 late, and they hang around and get something there. But yeah, I don't like LSU. I'm not a big fan of them right now. And again, this is a neutral site, so maybe you have a little advantage there. I don't know. I think it's lined correctly. Juan Ruiz says, let's go. Greetings. Mi familia. Looking good. Jeff, my chat all stars. Let's get it. Leche, horses, cash king. Leche, milk. Shout out to you. Leche. Early morning leche. I like it. Shout out to you, Juan. My question is, where's the leche coming from? Is it from a cup or the other leche? You got to let me know. Little early morning leche. I'll never hurt you. However, milk in the morning, crazy. Tres leches. I don't mind a little tres leches. Cake. Let me know the kind of involvement you're having right now with milk. I'd like to know. I'm curious. Tim Gallagher, thank you for joining. Sam Calmer, what's going on? All right, let me answer some of your questions here. We also addressed Justin McElvey. He's already there. Artis Jackson, any thoughts on Kansas, Indiana, Miami, LaSalle? I like Kansas and Miami team total over. All right. Kansas, Indiana. Xavier Johnson's not going to play in this game. I think we kind of had hoped that, maybe you get him today. And, that's kind of a spot in Indiana that, obviously Bloomington should be on fire today, even though it's not the most ideal time. Students will be there. That game will be fun. But I don't know, man. Indiana is shown time and time again they cannot defend. Any team with a fucking pulse on offense has destroyed them. Louisville played pretty well against them. Michigan played pretty well against them. I mean, Auburn just put up 104 on this team. And now you get Kansas coming in, who, it's one of the better offensive teams in America. I just think we have to kind of realize I don't think Indiana's very good. I think defensively they're a disaster. I agree with you, Artez. I lean Kansas myself. I think this is another one I think kind of was bet early, taking this number up a little bit. Something tells me Kansas wins by like 15. I just kind of feel like Indiana isn't good. And look, here's the thing, guys. The difference between this game and like Michigan State is this number's, I think, kind of right. They haven't had kind of the pullback with the really sharp money taking the dog in like a desperate spot. I think Indiana's just not good. Like I think that's kind of the thought. And I feel like if you like Kansas, you figure this is a double-digit win. Spread doesn't really matter that much. Like, is this really going to be, 78-70, where you won by one or something? I think this is either a double-digit win or it comes right down to the wire. So, this is a game, Artez, where I would maybe play around a little bit with your number. You know, maybe get a little bit better price with an alternate line. You play 9.5. You know, anytime, guys, as a gambler, look, we've been doing this a long time. I've been doing content on gambling since 2009. That's how long I've been doing this. I'm old in this business. Even though I'm only 34, I'm old. Been doing it a long time. You have to, at any point you can, limit juice. Getting away from not laying 110, right? So if you lay Kansas at the regular number here, whatever your number is, let's say it's, what is the number in this game? Do you have that in front of you, Jose? Are you there? Do you have this in front of you? I don't have it in front of me. I think it's 7.
I'll look it up for you right now.
No, don't worry. I thought you had it in front of you. No problem. I'm good. Whatever your number is, just eliminating the 110 and saying, okay, well, if it's 7, I could push up to 9.5 because I think they're going to win by double digits regardless. And I can grab a 130 plus 130, limiting your juice because that catches up to you and limiting that when you can. Okay, -7. There you go. So limiting it, not always laying 110. That's my goal a lot of the time because that'll eat you up. All right. Okay. Sharon Pulliam says he's milking the bookies. Okay. Very good. I got you. We milk the bookies. Okay. Fair enough. I like that. Someone asked about Houston. All right. So I want to talk about Houston because I've been on record as saying I think they're the best team in the country. I think Texas A&M, though, is interesting because Henry Coleman's good to go. Radford's back. A lot of people, I think, will just assume this game's played in the low 60s. I have concerns about the under in this game. Both these teams, I think, are defensive-minded. We know Houston's elite defensively. The problem is both these teams are great on the glass, man. I think we could see a lot of easy opportunities under the rim. Something tells me this finds its way over. I'm not recommending people bet the over here because Houston games against everyone, it's hard to bet overs in. But Houston's better offensively with LJ Cryer. These are really just elite rebounding teams. You know, it's rare you find a team like Houston on the glass, but A&M is right up there, man. Right up there. Houston's also taking some bad shots. Will that catch up to them eventually? Yeah, they're getting the job done because they're not playing anybody, but that's going to catch up to them eventually. Do you have any thoughts on Weber State, Wyoming? Wyoming is 2.5. Yeah, look, anytime you go play in Wyoming, it's difficult. Laramie is a very tough place to go. Now, Weber, I don't think that's going to mean much to. Weber obviously plays in tough locales all the time. Wyoming, another team, very dependent on getting to the free throw line, very dependent on the three-point shot. If they're kind of thrown into the half court, can they score effectively? I don't know. Not a great Wyoming team, but I think they're better than Weber. I'd probably lean that way. To me, it's more of like a coin flip game, though. I think there are better opportunities on the card. I think the one issue I have at Wyoming is they cannot stop turning the ball over. I mean, this is a really bad turnover team. I mean, they're turning the ball over a fuck ton. It's crazy. I mean, every single person on this team's turnover rate is very high. Very high. So that doesn't bode well for me. I wouldn't back them at any level. I would avoid this game. Mitchell Watson, game in the weeds. Any thoughts on UMKC against Bowling Green State University? So look, anytime Kansas City is a dog, I have some interest, and I'll tell you why. They have a coach named Marvin Menzies. Menzies is a guy who completely takes the air out of the ball. KC is going to walk the ball up the court. They are going to try to defend the hell out of you and just make it very difficult on you. They're going to end your possessions quickly. They're going to grab the ball and they're going to walk it up. They want clock to just roll. Now, again, you look at this schedule. They played Baylor. They played Colorado State. They played Kansas. Played a lot of good offenses. But against teams that are on their level, they're going to play games in the 60s. When you look at Bowling Green, this isn't a very good Bowling Green team either. Yeah, I think anytime KC's a dog, I'm interested. In against this type of team, I think they'll be quite good against. Any thoughts on Ohio State, UCLA? No, I still think two teams trying to figure themselves out a little bit. Totals 131.5. That seems about right to me. I thought that game was lined pretty well, personally. It seemed like at first to 65 wins. Kind of a game played in the low to mid 60s. Lean under. I think both those teams pretty good on the defensive end. Okay, guys, I want to get into some bowl games here. Do we have the numbers for those or no? I can put them up, no problem. I want to talk
which
about.
one do you want to talk about?
We'll just put them up and I'll just talk about them.
Oh, beautiful. Well, we have Ohio starting off the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
There. Okay, thank you. Myrtle Beach Bowl. That game, I believe, gets started in about 10 minutes, I think. Or the game has started. I'm sorry. So we should have addressed this a little bit further. But I guess that's on us. So I would have leaned Georgia Southern, but we'll pass on that one. Florida A&M Howard. Who cares? I don't know anything about that game. I don't look at FCS games generally. Okay, this game's interesting. R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. I was interested in Jacksonville State due to motivation, due to a great season for them. They've been really good, Jacksonville State. I'm really impressed with Rich Rod. I'm really impressed with that defense. They're a better defensive team to me in this game. And I feel like the Raging Cajuns, I feel like they just kind of go through the motions in this game. Their coach kind of discussed the fact that they play in this game always. At least to me, I lean Jacksonville State here. I think sometimes you just have to look at motivation a lot of the time. And I wonder, is it completely there in this game? Now, when you look at the Raging Cajuns, we look at both these teams, not any huge, I think, transfers or anything like that. Gamecocks want to play fast. They want to play up and down. I feel like anything under 3. We haven't seen a lot of movement in this game. I kind of lean Jacksonville State, though. I think motivation is surely there for them after kind of joining the FBS, having a great season. Got to give them credit. You got to wonder if Rich Rod will have another job somewhere else. I liked Ohio in that bowl game. I didn't realize it started. Well, Ohio is dealing with a third-string quarterback. Curtis Rourke transferred. Their other quarterback, their backup, is out with injury. So they're down to a third-string quarterback there. However, they are in the red zone currently. So it hasn't really phased them. Looks like they're taking the air out of the ball. Look, the one issue that Georgia Southern had in this game is defensively, they're not great. However, I don't believe they've had the ball yet. So, Ohio's running the ball effectively. But yeah, in this game, R&L Carriers Bowl, I lean Jack State, anything under a field goal. They've been a fun team this year. Play fast, and pretty solid on the defensive end. Jacksonville State will be pumped up. They weren't supposed to be able to play in a bowl game. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think they were eligible due to the fact that they're a first-year program, but I guess they got a waiver. Teddy B says, long time no talk. Good to see you still on your grind. Thank you, Teddy. Yes, always on the grind, man. We never stop. We always keep pushing forward. All right, next game. What is this game called? Can you take that comment off the screen, please? Thank you. New Mexico Bowl. Okay, perfect. So this game is being played in New Mexico State. Oh, that's right. It's being played in New Mexico State's backyard. Another game where you look at motivation. Does Fresno State really care about this game? I mean, let's just be honest. I don't think they do. New Mexico State, I thought all year was super impressive. I look at this team and I say, well, Diego Pavia looks like he's going to play today. He was injured in that CUSA title game. Fresno's coach ain't going to be there. I got to tell you, I like the over in this game a little bit. I think both these offenses find success. Mikey Keene's playing for Fresno. Good quarterback. Should be able to move the ball here. I kind of had this game at, first to 27 wins. I think this is like a 30-27 type of game. I leaned over, personally. I thought this was a little low, 51. I mean, Fresno's offense has been really good all year, and we've seen the Aggies. They've been able to move the ball. That's their mascot, I believe, New Mexico State Aggies. I think a lot of people are going to assume New Mexico State, and I don't disagree. I mean, I think the motivation is clearly there for this group. A lot of people in the chat seem to like New Mexico. King coming back from injury. Yeah, but he's still, I think, an effective quarterback that can move the football. So yeah, I leaned over in this one. I thought 51 was a little low. I mean, 28-24, you got a winner there. So I like the over a bit in that one. Billy Friedrich said New Mexico State, Jacksonville State moneyline parlay plus 169. Yeah, I think that's a good one. You're kind of getting away from the points there, not having to lay 3.5 or off a field goal. I don't mind that. Nasty Nate says New Mexico State smashes. Yeah, I think a lot of people like New Mexico State here. Ohio State stopped close to the goal line. Ohio says for field goal. That's a big get for Georgia Southern. That was first and goal from the 3. That's a really nice hold for Southern there. Good work, and that bend but don't break, boys. That's what it means. Bend but don't break. Let's talk about this Miami Ohio bowl game. Do you have that? No, I don't think you do. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, we have this is interesting. We have the avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. A lot of people don't know this. Tonight, when you drink or eat tacos or enjoy a lime or avocado, I bet you didn't know that it comes from the area of Michoacan in Mexico. I'm going to teach you all a little something. I bet you didn't know that right now, the lime and avocado trade is under major duress. For the last 10 years, drug cartels are absolutely attempting to destroy farmers and take over the cultivation of avocados and limes. Big business in Mexico, billion-dollar business. And what are the drug cartels doing? They're going to farmers and saying, fuck off, leave your farm, something you've built in your own, we take it over. And if you don't like it, get lost. What they're doing is they're fighting back. This is very interesting stuff. So when you drink your tequila tonight with lime or you have a taco, think about where that avocado or lime came from and who's fighting over it. Big business. Big business. Thank you. Yes, Nunya. Absolutely. Very, very interesting stuff, Nunya. But let's talk about this game. I got to tell you, do I want to back a third-string quarterback? Not really. But if I'm going to back Miami, I'm going to have to do it. Couple of things to make me like Miami, and here's what I would highly recommend. I don't buy half points. I think it's one of the most amateur thing you can do. Sometimes, though, in situations, I'm willing to do it. But I'd search around, see if you can find a 7 in this game. I think Miami O is the play. Chuck Martin, very good in bowl games. Very good. The coach at Miami Ohio, very good in bowl games. I believe he's 4-0 against the number in bowl games. Miami Ohio is playing a third-string quarterback. Avion Smith gone, Brett Gabbert injured. However, I don't think it's that important because Miami Ohio wants to run the football. And guess what? App State can't stop the fucking run. This team stinks against the run. Nate Noel, the running back for App State, opts out. Joey Aguilar, quarterback, in. But this is a good Miami O offense or a good Miami O defense. I think this is too many points. If you can find a 7, I'm interested. I like Miami O a little bit. Kelly McGinnis, I seen the video you posted about farmers fighting back. Very interesting. You've got to fight back. It's your land. It's your cultivation. It's your hard work. That is the saddest thing to me. This happens in Sicily. This happens in Mexico. These organized crime groups waltz in. It happens in New York City. These organized crime groups waltz in and say, we're the mafia and we take over. Get the hell out of here. If you don't like it, tough shit. No, we're going to fight back. This is our land. This is our home. Who the hell are you? However, in Mexico, that's hard to do because you're dealing with very dangerous people. Avocado farms are very bad on the environment. Yes, but a lot of people enjoy them, and it's $1 billion business. However, they're sponsoring this. Isn't the Cure Bowl sponsoring the Cure Bowl? Why are avocados from Mexico sponsored? All about money, even though they won't make any money on this game because no one cares. Who's going to this game? Let me ask you, where's this game? Birmingham, I think. If you live in Birmingham, are you rolling or running to go to this game? I wouldn't. And there's nothing to do in Birmingham, probably. All right. I think we got one or two more. We got UCLA, Boise. what is this? The LA Bowl? Oh yeah. Let's this is just what I want to do. I live in LA. I want to go watch UCLA play Boise State. UCLA's quarterback gone. Dante Moore's left. Chip Kelly, I think, is a lame duck, but I guess they're going to keep him around. This is hosted by Gronk, like the Gronk. Is he just like he's promoting?
Yeah, he's like the DJ guy, like doing the whole thing like Jimmy Kimmel was before. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's
why
stupid.
wouldn't you want to go out and see a washed up tight end, run around on the field? Come on.
Is he that
LA.
big? He like hosts bowl games that big? I feel like he's interesting. I mean, by the way, great point calling him a washed up tight end. He's also like, he's like one of those guys that like, he's like 38 and he's like going to like high school parties. Hey, bro, what's up? It's like, dude, enough. Like, enough already with the big. We get it. You're a partier. We get it, bro. We like, you love keg stands and stuff. We get it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did a keg stand during this bowl.
Yeah, it's like, dude, cringe. But he is very good. We don't talk enough about how. I guess we do talk enough, but Rob Gronkowski was on my list of like transcendent player, right? No one could stop Gronkowski in his prime. Like, you throw him the ball, that's that. Like, he was just unbelievable. However, this game's not. He could probably go out and score against Boise. I'll tell you that. Boise is down to a third-string quarterback as well. They're going to run the football. Holani, Ashton Ginty. Whether or not UCLA has their quarterback, they're a good defense. And I think they are really solid here defensively. I like the under a little bit. I thought 46.5 is a little high. I thought this was, I don't know, first to 21 wins. I lean under personally. I think UCLA struggles to move the ball. We don't know who's going to play quarterback for them. Obviously, you'd love Dante Moore, but he's definitely not going to be there. I don't know. I think these guys kind of take some time to kind of figure some things out here. And, again, Boise's going to want to run the football. It's very hard to run the football against UCLA. Quarterback today, I guess is Ethan Garbers. I don't know. Tough one. I didn't bet this one. Prime Gronk equals Kelsey. I think he was significantly better than Kelsey. The only one better was Aaron Hernandez. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Hernandez is a great player too. However, we know what his fate was. All right. What other one? Texas Tech Cal. I believe that's the other bowl game we have. This is the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. All right. Figure out who's playing quarterback for Texas Tech. That's important. We always know, though, they generally have someone they can throw in there in that up and down system. I'm going to just say it. Cal can't stop me, Jose, and 9 listeners. They can't stop anybody. So this probably is the highest scoring bowl game of the day, I would have to imagine. This is probably first to 30 wins. Cal is a fucking disaster. I mean, they give up points to everybody in the Pac-12 this year. And I don't know how they stop Texas Tech here, but I think there's importance that you look at who's playing in these games, find the trackers, find the things that show you who's playing, who's not. A lot of opt-outs on these teams, a lot of transfer portals, a lot of just nonsense, and it makes these hard to bet. Let's have an update here. It is 3-0 in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, and Georgia Southern is about to punt. They did not do well on their first series. So if you have Georgia Southern, you've got a little bit of an uphill climb here. This is in Shreveport. Does Cal care? No, I don't think either of these teams truly care that much. But then again, why wouldn't Cal care? I mean, they never get the bowl games. This is a shitty team generally. 6-6. I think that's a win for them. I think they're more motivated than Texas Tech. Why the hell does Texas Tech care about this game? I would kind of say the other way around, Billy Friedrich, personally. All right. So let me kind of reel it back in here. And let me kind of just discuss some of my favorites on the card today. I like Southern and Tulane over. I think that's a really, really solid play. I think you just kind of assume overs today in these big boy games. Alabama, Creighton, Carolina, Kentucky. And then again, I'm going to hold my nose with Michigan State a little bit. We didn't get into the weeds a lot today with these games. Usually I find, I got to tell you, I looked through this card. There were a few that I liked, like a few like off the beaten path games, but I don't know. I didn't love this card, if I'm being honest. I know there's a lot of games, but it just didn't zig the way I want a lot. So, we've got so much basketball. Nate the Great says, "Do y'all win on the show?" Question mark. Well, it's really a question of whatever you bet, Nate. We got to trust what you do. There are a lot of people that know how to gamble in here for sure. I always say these gambling chats. It's generally people that know what they're doing. They have some sort of ability to gamble. So yeah, I would say a lot of people in here know what they're doing. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thanks as always for watching. We like to keep this to around an hour, and we will continue to do that. We're here every Saturday, 10:30, college basketball countdown with me, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. I hope you all have a great Saturday. I hope you enjoy the weather wherever you are. It's not really good weather, but it's actually nice for December 16th around here. It's in the 40s, so it's not too bad. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Pulse Sports Radio.